Righto, general math students. We're going to talk about bearings here. Now, there's a bit of information here about bearings. It's also in your textbook. Rather than go through all this information, I'm going to go straight to the examples. I'm going to expect that you would read through this and digest it yourself, see if you can understand how to do these, and then check your working against the examples that I do on this video. So I suppose if you're stuck after that, then it's time to come and see me in person and sit down and go through this stuff. But what you need to remember is that there are two types of bearings. We've got three-figure or true bearings, which is described here, and reduced bearings. Right, so I'm going to go straight to the examples. I want you to read through these if you haven't already, and that means pausing the video and going through this material, and then having a go at the examples with me. Okay, so here are the examples. First off, we've got two here which are true bearings, and we're asked to draw this into a diagram. So you would get your ruler and draw a line in the appropriate place, pointing in the appropriate direction. And in fact, I might even, rather than having just a straight line, I might put an arrow. Okay, so these true bearings start at north. Oops, that's not quite pointing where I want it. I'll just fix that up a little bit. So starting from the center there, that's good enough. Okay, now we start at north and we go clockwise, which is in this direction, this way. Clockwise is this way around. Okay, so I'm going to start back at north, and they want me to go 105 degrees true. So here I go, I'm tracing round. That's about 45 degrees I've reached. There's 90 degrees. My line is not quite on the center, so I'll just straighten that up. Here I'm at 90 degrees, so I'm going to go another 15 degrees. Look, it doesn't have to be exact. You don't need to get your protractor out or anything, although you could. But I'm going to stop there. That'll do, okay? And I'm going to write in an angle to show that I've reached 105 degrees true. I'm going to put this angle in like this. I'm going to say here. Now we've got another 15 degrees on top of that 90 there. So I'm going to put 15 degrees in there in that diagram. So that is that bearing 105 degrees true. Okay, let's do another one. This is 207 degrees true. Okay, so we're going to start here. Go around clockwise, 90, 180, I'm going to go another 27 degrees, about that much. And once again, I'll fill that in. Here, 27 degrees. Righto, so those are the true bearings. They always start at north. Here, we have some reduced bearings. They can start at north, but they can also start in any other direction as well. And the first one starts at south. Oops, I want this one. Okay, so I'm going to point south this time. We're going to go from south 20 degrees towards west. Okay, so there I am pointing south, and west is going to be this direction. It's clockwise again. I'm going to go 20 degrees that way, about that much. And I'll mark that in. I've gone 20 degrees in that direction. Okay, last diagram type 1. And here we're starting at north this time, and we're going to go 82 degrees and 15 minutes towards west. So here I'm directly north. I'm going to go 82 now. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, but 82 is nearly 90 degrees, so we're almost all the way around towards west. So we want to go quite a way, something like that's okay. And I'll mark that in. 82 degrees, 15 minutes. So, like I said, you don't have to have exactly the same direction as me, so long as it's pretty close, that would be fine. And yeah, just as long as you mark in those angles to show that you understand where the angle should go. Okay, let's now try these ones down the bottom, which give us the bearing, or give us the diagram of the bearing, and we need to give three-figure or true bearings and reduced bearings for these. Okay, so I'm going to give three options for each one. firstly, here I'll go the true bearing. So I'm going to start at north, and this is 180, and then another 65, which makes 245 degrees. So we'd be 245 degrees true for this one. Now, as a reduced bearing, I could think, okay, I'll start at south, and I'm going 65 degrees towards west. I could also give this in the opposite way, where I start at west and go towards south, like that. Now, how many degrees? Well, this is a complementary angle here, where we have this and this add up to 90. So 90 takes 65 gives us 25 degrees. This must be 25 in here. So south 25 degrees west. Okay, so there are the three possible ways of giving this bearing. Each of these give exactly the same direction. So you could tell someone these three bearings and they'd all be in exactly the same direction. This one, that way. Okay, you might want to pause the video and try the rest, then I'll just go through them quickly. Okay, so this first one, this angle here, you work out, you take 28 from 90, what do we get? 62. So we 062 degrees true. It's important you have that 0 in front, three-figure bearing. We could also say north, 62 degrees towards east, or east, 28 degrees towards north. Okay, next one. Going all this way around, well, that angle there, 360 take 45. What does that give us? 315, I believe. So 315 degrees true. Equally, we could say that this is north, beginning at north, and we go 45 degrees towards the west. And since 45 and 45 make up 90, it must be also west 45 degrees north. Okay, over here, we're starting at north for our true bearing. We go 90 and 30. That makes 120. So 120 degrees true. Or we could start at east and we go 30 degrees towards south. This needs to add up to 90, these two angles, so that must be 60. So south, 60 degrees towards east. Okay, so these are not the types of questions you'd normally get in a test. Not too often, there might be some occasionally, but you need to understand these bearings for the bigger questions. So make sure that you try some of the questions in the description for this video before you go on to the harder ones that involve bearings in diagram type situations.